Hello, I am Dr. G.S. Suri. Today I will be talking about uh, growth of Indian higher education system after independence. So first of all, I will tell you the growth rate of Indian education system after independence. From the base year 1975, the growth rate was 9.5%. Then in 80, it was about 11%. And in 1985, it was about 14%. And in 1990, it was about 18%. In 1995, it was 19%. And in 2000, it was about 22%. In 2005, it was about 24%. And in 2010, it was 22%. And in 2015, it was about 29%, and in 2018 it was about 33%, and now in 2020 it is about 36%. So this is the growth rate of higher education in India. Different efforts were done by the different governments of India from time to time to increase the enrollment as well as to improve the quality of education. So in this effort, the first commission was appointed in 1948 under the chairmanship of Sarvepalli Dr. Radhakrishnan. The main function was to tone up the university education and to suggest suggest methods to uplift the university education. The main recommendation was about the value education, about the religious education, and establishment of universities in the field of agriculture, to establish different agriculture universities and to strengthen the existing universities, expanding their area of work. I mean, say more colleges were opened and they were placed under the guidance of this UC, which were already existing at Bombay or at Madras or one at Lahore. That was shifted to Hoshiarpur and Solan Hills. No. So this was the first attempt made by the government of India in 1948 to enhance the university education and to expand the area of expansion of the universities by opening more colleges and putting them under the control of the different universities and the jurisdiction of different universities. Then the next important commission was appointed under the Mudaliar, known as Mudaliar Commission, who was the Vice Chancellor of Madras University at that time. So this Mudaliar Commission was for the improvement of the secondary education, school education, and a number of reforms he gave to increase the school education, different training of the teachers, preparing of the teachers for the school system, for the middle classes, for the high classes. So in this way, it was the duty of the Modalia Commission to increase the secondary education and to expand to both quantitatively as well as qualitatively, because there was only one or two states, Kerala or another state, they have a higher percentage of literacy, and yes, Kerala has about 93.1%. So this way, other states, poor states, have less than even 30% or even less than 30%, and especially the system which was during the British period were only for the elite. They were not for the common people. They were not for the girls, not at all. So this commission suggested that girls should be also given education at the school level. So this was the important thing done by the Modalia Commission to expand the education not only for the elites but for the common people. So he made this thing and opened a large number of normal schools and other schools to expand the system of education. And the third, most important commission was appointed in 1964, and its work was from 1964 to 1966, and this was under the able guidance and chairmanship of Dr. D.S. Kothari. And this commission is known as Indian Education Commission, and it studied the system from the beginning, from nursery class to the university level. So all type of education was included in the purview of the Kothari Commission, and it made a recommendation in I think June 1966 when C.M. Shagla was the C.M. Shagla पहले था, इसके बाद मेरे ख्याल कपल सिंपल था या कोई एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर था, उसको इसने जो सबमिट की रिपोर्ट, और इट ए वेरी कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव रिपोर्ट covering all the things, and the main recommendation was the adoption of 10+2+ system of education. 10-year general education up to 10th class, then 2 years special education in the form of medical or non-medical or humanities, and 3 years degree course. For 3 years, he recommended there should be 3 years degree course. So in this way, this was the landmark in the field of education, the introduction of 10+2+3 education system. Second landmark was establishment of school complexes. There was a number of schools was put together, and that was known as a school complex. तो देर वॉज एक रिसोर्स सेंटर होता था जो कोऑर्डिनेटर करता था बाकी स्कूलों को भी, तो वो जो जगह थी वहाँ पे रिसोर्स मटेरियल होता था और हर स्कूल जो है उसको शेयर कर सकता था. तो इन दिस वे स्कूल कॉम्प्लेक्सेस वर created to increase the quality of the school education, and this way, and this was again a very important, and it also recommended education through Anganwadi or through child care centers. So in this way, he covered the whole, and he also covered the college education, and university education, and he another thing which was given by Kothari Commission was the three language formula. There should be three language. One will be mother tongue, second will be a link language, and third language. English was a link language at that time, and then you can have any of the language in India. So it can be Hindi. Later on, it became the national education, and at that time there was no national education. Only regional education, regional language थी, या इंग्लिश थी या मदर टंग थी. Suppose Punjab, we have Punjabi as a mother tongue, we have English as a link language which started from 5th or 6th class, and we have Hindi also as one of the languages, third language which we studied from 3rd or 4th class. So in this way, the three language formula was given by कोठारी कमीशन. तो मेन रिकमेंडेशन था, एक तो आंगनवाड़ी से लेकर यूनिवर्सिटी तक रिकमेंडेशन की, दूसरा स्कूल को की बढ़ाने के लिए, एक्सपेंशन करने के लिए स्कूल के, और उसमें क्वालिटी को इंक्रीज करने के लिए स्कूल कम्प्लेक्सेस बनाए. इस तरह से जो वो शेयर करते थे, जो कोऑर्डिनेटिंग स्कूल थे वो 7 और स्कूल अटैच थे. उस एक तो सेंटर था, सेंटर के साथ नज़दीक के उसके इर्द गिर्द के अराउंड जो स्कूल थे उनको अटैच किया था, और उनको जो किसी सामान की ज़रूरत होती थी, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की ज़रूरत होती थी, तो वो शेयर कर सकते थे उनके. एंड समटाइम्स अगर स्टाफ की शॉर्टेज है किसी एक में, ड्यू टू के लॉन्ग कोई छुट्टी चले गए या कुछ हो गया, तो वो भी शेयर कर सकते थे. जिस स्कूल में फालतू एक्स्ट्रा पर्सन होते थे, जैसे शहर में एक कम्प्लेक्स बना दिया, उसके नज़दीक रूरल स्कूल्स हैं, तो शहरों में ज़रूरी बात है कि एक्स्ट्रा टीचर होते थे, तो उनको वो हायर कर लेते थे, और इस तरह से यूटिलाइज करते थे. जैसे मैथमेटिक्स के टीचर थे या साइंस के टीचर थे जो स्टेट स्ट्रीम में होते थे, उनको भेज देते थे फॉर टीचिंग 9th and higher classes. So this way, this was a landmark in the history of education. This commission made a lot of things. Now, after that, some policies, national policies were also there. The first national policy was in 1968, second was in 1986, and third was in 1992. And then there was a committees, Sapru committee, Yashpal committee, they also suggested certain things. And now the last, which is nowadays under discussion, it was framed in 2019. This is the NPE, New Policy of Education, under the BJP government. So this still has not been enacted. I mean, it has not been approved by the parliament and by the president. Consent has not been given. So this is still under discussion. So many important things are here in which they say the Hindi should be main language for all, whether it is in south or north or east or west. So this is some controversial point, because southern state doesn't want it to be a national language. National language اور آفیشیل لینگویج دے آر ڈفرینٹ. آفیشیل لینگویج تو کئی اسٹیٹوں کی ہندی ہے، لیکن نیشنل لینگویج جو ہے وہ ہوتی ہے جو ہر اسٹیٹ میں ہوتی ہے. تو نیشنل لینگویج ابھی تک کوئی نہیں ہے. دے آر ٹرائنگ ٹو ہیو اٹ ایز اے نیشنل لینگویج. لیکن آفیشیل لینگویج جیسے تامل ناڈو ہے وہاں میں تامل ہے، جیسے پنجاب ہے یہاں بھی یہ لینگویج پنجابی ہے، پنجابی میں کام کرنا پڑتا ہے. جیسے IAS آفیسر ہے انہوں نے پنجابی کا اسپیشل ٹیسٹ پاس کرنا پڑتا ہے، اور دے ہیو ٹو گیو دیئر نوٹنگ ان پنجابی، دے ڈونٹ گیو ان انگلش. تو دیٹ از the official language in Punjab. Similarly in Telugu ہے یا اسامیز ہے یا اس طرح سے جو 12 اپنے 22 لینگویج ہیں، جن میں سے 12 پرومیننٹ ہیں اور ٹوٹل 22 انڈین لینگویج ہیں جو ریکوگنائز ہیں. تو ان سے جو شکشا دینی، تو یہ بھی ایک بہت بڑی امپورٹنٹ تھی. تو جو 1968 کے NP ہے، نیشنل پالیسی آف ایجوکیشن ہے، اس میں موسٹ آف دا تھنگس آر انکارپوریٹڈ وچ واز سجیسٹڈ بائی کوٹھاری کمیشن. 1968 جو NP تھی اس میں ہی ہوا کہ اسکول کمپلیکسز بنائے جائیں، اور اس میں جو اسپیشل مورل ایجوکیشن، ریلیجیس ایجوکیشن کو بھی اسٹریس کیا گیا ہے. بچوں کی مورلٹی کو بھی بڑھایا جائے، اور ایک اس میں اور تھا کہ آل راؤنڈ ایجوکیشن دو، مطلب فزیکل، ایموشنل، سوشل، ہر طرح سے آل راؤنڈ ڈیولپمنٹ جو چائلڈ کی ہے ہونی چاہیے. تو خاص کر کے اسٹیبلشمنٹ آنگن واڑی تھی اور جو تھی وہ اس میں کہا گیا کہ یہ کی جائیں. تو میرے نمبر آف وٹ ایور سجیشنز آر گیون بائی کوٹھاری کمیشن، دا ریکمنڈیشن واز adopted through National Policy of Education of 1968. Then 1986, that was under the Congress government, and large number of improvements were made. Especially in 1986, more stress was on ICT, use of ICT, Information Communication Technology in the school system. تو یہ ایک بہت بڑا پوائنٹ تھا. دوسرا تھا مین اسٹریس واز گیون آن دا ICCE, چائلڈ کیئر ایجوکیشن، انڈین چائلڈ کیئر ایجوکیشن. تو CCI جو ہے یہ جو انڈین جو اس لیول پہ ہے، جیسے پری اسکول لیول پہ ہے، پری اسکول کے ایجوکیشن پہ بھی اس میں کافی اسٹریس دیا گیا کہ جو بچے ہیں ان کو نرسری کی ٹریننگ دی جائے، پری نرسری، دین نرسری، then LKG, then UKG, then they will be promoted to class 1. So before 5 plus, they will be just doing there. وہاں پہ یہ کرتے ہوں گے. کہاں پہ؟ جو پری اسکول ہے اس میں یہ ہوگی. اس کے بعد جو اسکولنگ شروع ہوگی جو وہ 10+2 تک ہے. 10 جنرل ایجوکیشن ہے، 2 جو ہے اسپیشل ایجوکیشن ہے، ووکیشنل ایجوکیشن ہے. تو دیٹ واز دا سسٹم emphasized in 1986. And the main thing was all these recommendations which were made by different commissions could not be implemented. The policies were okay, the planning was okay, but they failed. Even 10+2+3 has failed due to procedure of implementation. Preparation is not made before implementing any system of education. I would say something from top trickle down to the bottom. I mean, the policy are decided by the government, by the central government, by the state government, and then curriculum is prepared by the higher authorities, and then that is enforced on the teachers. They are not trained for the new curriculum, they are not trained for the new methodology. जैसे आईसीटी की बात है, आईसीटी कैसे यूज़ कर लेंगे जब तक उनको ट्रेनिंग ही दी गई कि आईसीटी कैसे यूज़ करना, इंफॉर्मेशन लेनी कैसे है, इंफॉर्मेशन को प्रोसेस कैसे करना है. बाकी जो BS ब्लूम ने दी है, टेक्सोनॉमी ऑफ एजुकेशन दी है, वो 1956 में आ गई थी. उसको कैसे जोड़ना है, कैसे अपने एजुकेशनल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स, कोर सब्जेक्ट कैसे लिखने हैं, सब्जेक्ट एक्सपर्ट कैसे लिखने हैं, बाकी लेसन ऑब्जेक्टिव कैसे लिखने हैं, उसको कैसे लेसन प्लानिंग उनकी कैसे करनी, ये सब जो ट्रेनिंग नहीं दी गई थी, उनको कहा कि ये आपने चीज़ें करनी है, आपने आईसीटी यूज़ करनी है, लेकिन कैसे यूज़ करनी है. और आईसीटी में क्या उनको पता था कि ओनली हार्डवेयर करना या सॉफ्टवेयर करना. हार्डवेयर तो मिलता था लेकिन सॉफ्टवेयर तैयार नहीं था. तो इस तरह से भी ये चीज़ें फेल हो जाती हैं जब आप उसको प्रॉपर ढंग से उसकी ट्रेनिंग नहीं देते. जब तक because there should be gap between the adoption, between the implementing in the school. There should be 2 years gap between when it has been approved by the state government or approved by the central government, and there should be 2 years for preparation. ये याद होता है कि कहते हैं जैसे कह दिया 1986 में ये करना है और 1987 में उसको इम्प्लीमेंट कर दिया. तो when they were not prepared, तो इसीलिए फिर 1992 में एक और कमेटी बनानी पड़ी फॉर इम्प्लीमेंटेशन. इसका प्रोग्राम ऑफ एक्शन बनाया गया और उसमें ब्लैक बोर्ड ऑपरेशन, दैट्स ए वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग which was made for